Hi, my name is Gregory Fax. I'm a senior at the college in Jersey, and I'm actually one of the founders of the Entrepreneurship Club here. I think Matt was a great speaker. One of the things I definitely learned about was setting those long-term goals, definitely focusing on the bigger picture and making sure that you're clearly looking at your goals and focusing them as well. So I think that making sure that all of your goals are things that you set and that you're passionate about, especially within entrepreneurship. I think that's one of the key points that Matt drove home today.
Good. I want to make sure I said everything I was supposed to say. Now, you want to focus on, now that you've got your goals, this is like the big goal conversation, we'll get back to that. Excuse my left-handed chicken scratch. All right, now this is an old book. So those of you guys that are bigger, you guys ever read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? This guy has. Anybody else? You just heard of it, or did you actually read it?
I read it.
Okay, good man. So you probably saw the conversation around things that are urgent and important, right? Anybody not know what I'm talking about? Anybody didn't know the book? Does anybody not know the book and not know the urgent and important conversation? You don't know? Okay, cool. All right. So here we go. You got this? Okay. So there's this quadrant, okay? Now, this quadrant represents all the things and tasks and opportunities to do that show up in your life, okay? And this applies not just to business. This applies to school. This applies to your personal life. This applies to whatever, to just life. And this is all the things that show up for you, okay? This scale on here is the things that are urgent. What's urgent? Like, give me like a thing that's urgent. Anybody? My pants are on fire. I better do something with it, right?
I have no food in the fridge.
I got no food in the fridge. I'm starved to death. Right?
I didn't do anything for my test Friday.
It's just urgent means like, right, I didn't study for my test Friday because I'm a jerk and I went to Amsterdam, right? Just things that are urgent require an immediate response. Safety. Personal safety. Anything. Right? Immediate response. Okay? Urgent means immediate response. So the more immediate the response is required to deal with it, the higher it is. So this is high urgency. The quicker I have to deal with it. If I want to respond to it, the quicker I have to do so. Not urgent things are, the term paper that I got to work on. It's not due for another 3 months. It's not to work on it right away. It's not urgent. It's not due. When it's due tomorrow, it's up here, right? Okay. Important are things that have to do with my goals. Okay. If this task, whatever the thing or the conversation or whatever that shows up here, okay, is something that will manifest this, that will bring about me riding motorcycles through Vietnam, or that will bring about me owning an apartment building, or bring about me being able to make enough money to afford that apartment in New York, or enough that I can make the donation to the charity I want to make it to, or enough that whatever I want to do, whatever goal I have, if this task will get me closer to that goal, right, it's important, okay? So, something that's urgent and important, okay? I'm going to talk in business terms because I know you guys are in school. Hey, we could talk in school stuff. You guys want to talk business or you want to talk school?
Business.
Business? Okay, cool. One of my goals is to own an apartment building this is true, in Florida. I don't have anything in Florida yet, but I want to. You know why? Because I want to go to Florida. I want to go to Florida. I want to go hang out in Florida in the wintertime. I want to take my wife and kids to Florida and be able to go and visit my asset there. This is the cool things about real estate. You can go check it out and let it off, right? So let's say that's one of my goals, okay? And urgency is somebody calls me up and says, hey, Matt, I've got a deal. It's off the market. Nobody else knows about it. But you got to call me back in 24 hours, right? That is urgent because I have to call him back in 24 hours because it's really important, because it's high time sensitivity. And it's important because it will advance me towards my goal. So I'll put that one right there, right? Okay. So there are lots of things that are urgent and important. And I think that it's very easy in life to address these things because time is what makes us aware. And a lot of times in life, we respond to this. This is very easy to respond to. Anything that's urgent is very easy to respond to because it's screaming at me, right? My cell phone calling from a telemarketer, you know, that has no bearing on my life, is not going to put any money in my pocket, is not going to, they're just going to literally suck time out. I'll never get the 5 minutes back that it takes me to talk to them and tell them I'm not interested, right? That is not important, but it's urgent because it's ringing at me, right? Okay? So there are things in life that are not urgent, not important. These are the ones right here. So this is the stuff that it doesn't matter. It's not going to advance me towards my goals if it's not screaming at my face. These are things. Think of something like this. Anything in life, help me out. Something that's not screaming at me and it's not going to advance me towards my goals. Maybe I got to do it at some point, but it's not anything that's going to advance me or is screaming at me. Cleaning your room, okay? Not that but I got a room too. I still got to clean that too. Whatever it is. These are there's just something like that. It's not screaming at me. You got to hand up anything. Just these are the things that just you either want to delegate, give it away, you give away cleaning your room if you can. I'm going to do that for you. Or you can just outsource or find ways to get these things off your plate altogether. Or you can ignore them, really, until they become bigger. The other things that are urgent, urgent but not important. These are the time suckers, right? These are the things that will suck you away from your goals because they're not important. It's not going to take you where you want to go, but it's screaming at you, okay? This is a thing where it takes, so this you want to out-delegate. These are the things that it takes courage. That you got to have the cojones to say, you know what? I'm not going to deal with that. Whatever it is, it's screaming at you saying, hey, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. I don't, whatever it is. It's not going to advance me towards my goals, but it's not going to address this. And that's why this is important to have goals, to know where you want to go. Because if you don't, all you're going to do is what? If you don't have goals, what are you guys going to do? Only the stuff that's, urgent. That's going to take you nowhere. All I'm doing is just responding to whatever's screaming the loudest at me. Right? You guys ever been there? I've been there. Just dealing with whatever's, whoever's screaming the loudest, whoever's making the most noise, that's what I'll deal with, right? So this takes courage, okay? High urgent, but not important at all. High important, very urgent. These are easy to figure out because it's I got to write that term paper, I got to study for that test, I got to apply for the job, whatever it is, because it's about to come up. And time is what makes me aware of it, right? Very easy to figure out. Success in life, what takes you to maybe becoming the Mark Zuckerberg, or maybe making $1 million in business, or getting any type of success that you want for yourself is right here. This is not urgent, but important. This is the stuff right here. That realm right there is where leaders are made, is where success is made, because it's not screaming at you. So it takes discipline, right, to create this. It takes having goals. Because remember, if you don't have goals, you don't even know this is in the field. You don't even know that's there, right? Because you're taking action. This is called, you guys ever heard of being proactive? Right? Okay. This, everything up here is reactive. Okay? Reactive. Okay? This is proactive. Proactive means planning out your day. It means when you wake up in the morning saying okay, this is what I want to create for myself today. These are the hurdles I'm going to accomplish. So
it's taking the initiative.
Yes, taking the initiative. Right. Going out and grabbing what you want. Right. So questions about this. This chart right here changed my life. Is what it taught me that I spend too much time up here because I'm a big up here kind of guy. High A, high energy. Let me just live in a response mode, everything like that.
Can you keep it up there?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And you should read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People in the summertime. Cool. Yes.
So I feel like I understand how to do short-term and long-term goals and how to prioritize things, but for me what I struggle with is understanding what are the financial implications of the goals that I'm creating,
Mm-hmm.
and like, are they realistic? So how do you go about making sure that your goals are realistic in that time frame with your long-term ones?
There you
And like, what are the financial risks you might be taking with those goals?
I got it. Cool. So what I hear you saying, and this is true for me, this is what you talked about has nothing to do with your age, with the fact that, oh, I'm a college student, so I don't know, and once I get older, I'll know. Don't ever listen to anyone that tells you you don't know what you're going to know because of your age, okay? All you need is someone who knows a little bit more than you do to mentor you, okay? What you need is to set the goals, to say, okay, I want this, I want to create this. Like, like take a paintbrush and go to life and say, I'm going to paint the life I want. This is what I want in 5 years. This is what it looks like. Then go to someone, maybe not, someone that has their certain blinders on for what they think your life should be, okay? Someone who's completely open and perhaps has created something similar to like that in their life, okay? And run it by them. That's number one. It's a mentor, okay? Someone who's just a few steps down the road. They don't have to be miles down the road. They could be just 2 or 3 steps down the road. They could say, you know what? That's not, what's your name?
Brielle.
Brielle, that's not realistic. You're not gonna, you weren't hearing this earlier, but you're not gonna be the next Mark Zuckerberg, but you might, be able to create X or create a business that has this much revenue, or be able to, manifest something similar to that. Or if you tweak this, tweak this, tweak that, you might be able to create it. Or even better, this is what I hope they say to you, Brielle, you're not thinking big enough. That you could go here if you do X, Y, Z, right? So that's number one, is a mentor. And it doesn't have to be a formal role. It should be someone that you like and respect, that will give it to you straight, and that has been a few steps down the road. That's number one. The second thing you need is a small group of advisors. And these can be people that like and respect you, but love you enough to be honest with you. Okay? They're not going to tell you what you want to hear. They're not going to just say, yeah, sure, Brielle, you're great. And it's nice to have cheerleaders in life, but you want people that are going to be straight with you, that you can bounce it off, and they can help you mitigate and also can hold you accountable, because everybody falls off of these sometimes. You need people that can remind you, you know what you said you wanted to do? You said you wanted to build an orphanage in South Africa in 5 years, which is totally possible. You could. But if you said that you wanted to do that and you start to fall off of it, your accountability group, your support group, your small group of friends or whatever are there to hold you to that. Does it help? Okay. Because the mistake that I think a lot of entrepreneurs make is they do it all themselves, right? But we're subject to our blind spots. So without people watching our back, we're just subject to seeing what we see, not somebody else looking and say, yeah, that's realistic, or no, it's not.
Yeah. And then I have another question.
Bring it on.
So like, one of my managers told me, like, what you do is you think of like your objectives, your goals, and then like your strategies. Mm-hmm. So like, how do you go about setting goals? Like, do you think of like, oh, this is my objective, and like, these are my goals, or like, how do you go about setting goals?
Sure. How do you set goals?
Like how, like more strategically.
Sure.
Like, besides just big picture, like how do you go about it?
Are this is within a company?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you got to drink the company Kool-Aid a little bit first. Okay. The goals have to be company oriented. You can't be like working for a company that makes widgets and say, you know what, we need to start making, like, harvesting grapefruit in Guatemala. That's what we need to do. Forget widgets. That's what it should look like, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to kind of approach the goals you want to set, the vision and the objectives and everything like that, from within the company confines, okay? From within what the company does already. So you have to research a little bit of what the company's all about, what the resources are, what they can and can't do, and I hate to say this, but you kind of have to learn how to game it a little bit. So you have to understand really what their expectations of you are. So like, we think Brielle should, what kind of business are you in?
Marketing.
Marketing?
Mm-hmm.
So are you developing marketing platforms and stuff for clients, like, like they do Colgate commercial or something like that, or what kind of marketing?
I mean, I did a co-op that was like product management. So it's like, it was kind of like just managing a brand and then just coming up with like the big picture, like how you, like planning for next year, like what's the budget going to look like. Okay.
What are the biggest thing in organizations like that, like a big company, is developing what their management parameters of you are, okay? So, like, how are they judging you? Are they judging you by the amount of marketing material, like marketing product you develop at a certain time, like the feedback that the market gives for the product that you generate for them. You know what the parameters are that they're measuring you by, because every company is measuring their employees by certain parameters, because they can't watch everything you do. So they'll pick like 10 things that they're going to watch you by. So do you know what those things are?
I mean, like, we have like a project development plan that I do my co-op, so it's kind of like they measured us by like how much we completed our projects. So it was kind of like base set goals, but like I feel like when you move to like a full-time position, it's different. Like you have to set your own goals.
Yeah.
So like when working in a company or like working on your own, how do you go about setting those goals? Like,
Working on your own is very different than working for a company. Working on your own is the blank slate of like, I want to create this thing in life, okay?
yeah.
So here's how forgetting the company thing for a second, because the company is really about understanding the parameters they're going to measure you by and figure out how you can outperform those parameters. If it's sales, how can I sell X amount of units? If they want to see X, how can I sell X plus 10%? You know, like how can I outperform what they want to see, do a little better than that, right?
Yeah.
That's what it really is. Figure out what they want to see and do a little better. For yourself, it's what do you want to see, right? What do you want? And that's, again, one of the biggest questions in entrepreneurship is, as I said earlier, nobody's telling me what to do as an entrepreneur, but that's great because I'm telling you what to do, okay? So if I decide, then what I do when I set my goals is I sit down and I say, what do I want my life to look like in 5 years? I got a wife and 2 kids.
Yeah.
So what do I want my life for my wife and 2 kids to look like? Well, I want a certain amount of passive income, which, right? I want that's like I want a certain amount of dollars in passive income. I want to be working for this much time, but also be off for that much time. So it's about the life I want to manifest. Okay, and I tend to speak in the first person. Like it is 2013, no 2023, I guess would be 5 years from now, right? So it's 2023, and I live here. And this is what it looks like. And this is how much money I'm making. And this is what my life looks like. And this is what my business looks like. And this is what I'm reaping these benefits from my business. So way out here, like vision. And then I slowly bring that back to what I have to do on a annual basis to get me to that vision. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess like my question more specifically is like whether like I feel like when you're working on a business or you're starting your own business or company, it's kind of like what kind of goals should you set? Are they all financial? Like should they be like personal and financial when you're starting a business? Like how would you split up those goals in terms of categories?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know, I am not a money is a goal kind of guy. I don't think it is. Money's just a vehicle. Like if you're in this, if you're want to be an entrepreneur or whatever it is to make money, I can promise you, it will be disappointing when you hit that money goal because life is not money. Money is just a vehicle. Okay, so I tend to set goals around the life that I want and around whatever lifestyle I want to have for myself. And money helps me create that. But what money really does, and what my business really does for me, it buys me time. Because time is the one thing that I want that I want to be able to take advantage of. Because does that help? Yeah, you're asking a lot of great questions. Am I helping you about?
No, you're definitely helping.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, cool. More questions about tip 2. Urgent and important. I could just do a whole thing on goal setting. This is awesome. Bring it on. What's your name?
My name is Sony.
Hi, Sony. What you got?
So let's say like you set a goal, like it could be like business or also personal. Like let's say like in another let's say 5 years from now you want to see revenue increase by like 10% or something. Let's say you set a goal like that, but then in like 4.5 years from now you see that you might not be able to like get there. Would you revise your goal? How do you revise goals? Like, or would you like give up?
Okay, so give up. That's it. Shut it down. Turn the lights out. Right.
I guess I'm just trying to ask, like, how do you go about like revising goals, and how do you just go about like if you don't see where like if you think like you're leading to failure?
Yeah. Okay. A couple things. We will get to this in tip 4, but to answer your question, you have to visit your goals regularly. I read my goals every week. Right? I'm a maniac with this kind of stuff. I've been doing it for a while. So I read my goals every week, okay? And then I plan my week. And then when I plan my week, I take my little dorky week planning document, I take that and I plan my day every day. I'm like, okay, it's Monday. I'm going to do Monday. I'm going to do all my stuff, I'm going to do Monday, and everything I have to do that day is what's going to carry me towards my goals, right? So I visit my goals almost all the time, okay? So to your point, like if you are great at setting and visiting your goals, regularly reading them and, okay, what can I do now? What can I do now? What can I do now to take me there? Goal setting is not fire it out there and I'll check back on it in a couple of years to see how it's doing, right? You have to constantly check on them. So if you set a goal to increase sales by 10%, right? And you found out in your 4.5 out of 5 that you weren't going to make it, you weren't visiting your goals enough. You should have known you should have seen that one coming down Broadway, that you weren't going to do it, right? But I'll give you an example, okay? First of all, increasing sales by 10% in 5 years is, you can do better than that. I know.
I'm just like giving like
I know, but well, this leads into my example, okay?
Right.
You guys ever swim in the ocean? Okay? You swim in the ocean, you ever, like, you know, the sun's off in the horizon, okay? And I start swimming towards the horizon. You can picture yourself swimming towards the horizon right now, okay? The horizon is this thing that's all the way out there, and I'm never going to get to it. I'm just not, and don't tell me because of physics why I'm not going to get to it, but that's just like, I'm just not going to get to that line. It's a place that I'm aiming towards, but I'm never going to get there. You guys know Pepsi Corporation? Okay? You know what the vision for their company is? To have their product within arm's reach of all humans, right? Do you think you'll ever get there? Never. That's impossible, but it's interesting, you know? That means an arm's reach, that I should be able to reach out right now and touch a Pepsi product from where I'm standing right now, right? You know, that means they want to infiltrate and put their stuff in a lot of different places so it's available to all people, okay? It's one of those horizon type goals, and if they push for that, and that's like a thing that they want to create, like a vision for themselves, they might not ever get there, but it's something that will manifest a lot of really great things for themselves in striving to get there. So, if you set a great goal, like, I want to quadruple my sales. Let's talk big, right?
Right.
But you only get to 3.5 times your sales. Would you still be happy? You're too hard on yourself. You should be. You know, like, yeah, because you got 3.5 times your sales. If your company's selling $1 million a year and you got to 3.5 million, but you wanted to get to 4, I get there's a certain level of disappointment there, and I've been there. I've been like, I want to go to this, and then I got to that. You know. You know what? If I hadn't have wanted to get here, at least I almost got there, right? It's better than not getting anywhere at all, right? So that happens sometimes, and to you, Brielle, as well, in goals, that you don't always hit them, but goals are intended to stretch the crap out of you and cause you to go, oh, and sometimes you just quite miss, but at least you stretch and at least you create a growth. You with me?
Right.
Okay.
Back to that same question, like when is it like too late to realize, like if you probably should have like realized a like goal or like steps like you created to like take that goal. When is it like too late?
When is it too late to what?
To like if you realize that like your goal is not like your like steps that you're taking to make your goal is not like working out, you should like revise your plan.
It's a tough spot because you don't want to start out. You don't want to change gears too early.
Right.
You know, and say like, you know what? I'm 1 month in on a 5-year plan, and I'm going to quit. That's it. Screw this. This got too hard, right? But you do want to visit your goals regularly because I can tell you that in a crazy changing world we live in, right? There's like just so many different technological advances and things that show up that might redirect your goals because there might be a thing that didn't exist, you know, right? Like if you own the best taxi cab company in the world and you had goals to expand it and then Uber shows up and then driverless cars show up, you better change your goals, you know? Because technology, the world that's way out here that you don't control, is showing up to redirect. So that's why I visit my goals, again, weekly, monthly, and me and my wife, she's my business partner, me and my wife get together quarterly and we look at our goals. And if we want to change course, that's when we do it. So once a quarter, to short answer your question, that's when I give myself permission to change. Did you have a question?
Yeah, so as college students, how do we balance being proactive with being reactive? Considering like a lot of us do have goals and the courage to do those goals, but given the environment that we're in, we often have to be reactive and respond to the urgent things because of our classes or professors or things that are randomly thrown at us on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. I think, thank you. What was your name?
Dennis?
Dennis. All right. Here's the deal. One of your Does everybody in here have the goal of graduating?
Yeah.
I hope so, right? I hope so. Cool. So at the end of the day, what I mean by that is that sometimes you're going to have to just play the game and jump through the hoops. I'm so glad that no university or whatever perfect people are in the room. Because you might have to just play the game and jump through the hoops and do the things they need you to do so that you can graduate. And I would still call that part of your important goal. And so if you've got a class that you hate that's complete BS, but has an exam coming up, and you got to pass it so you can graduate, so you can have a good GPA and have a good whatever you do. You got to play the game, okay? So for now, that's part of the goal, okay? So you guys are in a weird spot, especially for those of you that are business minds, because Dennis, you got like business ideas, entrepreneur stuff, things you want to get yourself into, and then you've also got to finish drinking that glass of Kool-Aid they gave you when you walked in the door over here, right? So you gotta finish that while you expand yourself into the new thing. And so it's a weird straddly spot. I feel for you. I hear your pain, but all I can tell you is that they're both important, but very soon, once you graduate, that will be behind you, and you can put everything you got into a new set of goals. But don't stop thinking about what you want to do after graduation. Don't stop creating that, because it'll be on you quicker than you think. Cool?